Good morning, students. Here we come up with embryology lecture of blastocyst. So therefore, with the formation of blastocyst, and please note down, this stage will come immediately after morula. So blastocyst, we will draw this diagram. Here we will draw this diagram, and here we are going to make the cells. Please draw the outer cell group. And these outer cell groups now you draw in such a way that they will resemble the flat appearance. So therefore, this is the outer cell group. Then we draw the inner cell mass. So when we are drawing the inner cell mass, please draw this inner cell mass, and in the inner cell mass you draw these round cells. Now we put some nuclei inside, so therefore here we are going to put the nuclei in this cells. So all the cells which we are drawing, they basically are blastomeres after the stage of morula. Remember, this stage is coming after the stage of morula. So after morula, the cells are dividing, and from 16 cell stage they will pass to numerous stages further and further. And this stage is from 32 cell stage to 64 cell stage. Just an example. So it will keep on dividing. So anywhere between 32 to 64 cell stage here, all the blastomeres. And since we have seen in the morula, it is dividing into outer layer of cells, which will be now known as trophoblast. And this is inner cell mass, group of cells which are lying inside. So therefore, now what will happen? Interesting change will take place at this stage after the morula. During the cell division, as the cell division keeps on progressing, there will be collection of various intercellular fluid. So here you are able to see there will be collection of various intercellular fluid. So intercellular spaces will be there, and in those intercellular spaces there will be collection of uterine fluid, which will percolate through, which will pass through the outer cell layer. So uterine fluid will be collected in these intercellular spaces which are created right now at this stage. Now what will happen? All these spaces will coalesce with each other. So once they fuse with each other, once they coalesce with each other, they will create a huge space, and that space will be known as blastocele. And this group of inner cell mass will be pushed at one side, will be pushed in eccentric position. Therefore, now the next diagram which we will draw will be, this is the first diagram. Now in the next diagram, what we'll draw is, we will show how these spaces have coalesced or they have fused with each other. So therefore, now we will draw, if we complete these boundaries, now we shall draw the inner cell mass. So therefore, this is the inner cell mass. We will put the nuclei inside, and we will now draw and show that this cavity, now here I will just line it. Now this is the lining to show the cavity. So this cavity which has been created because of fusion of the small intercellular spaces is known as blastocele. Please note down, blastocele, C-O-E-L-E. There is a cavity which is created here. And this group of cells, inner cell mass, this has been pushed at one pole, and therefore this pole, now please note down, this pole where the inner cell mass is attached will be known as embryonic pole, and this pole here opposite the attachment of inner cell mass, it is called embryonic pole. Please note down the two poles. And therefore this structure which has been developed will be known as blastocyst. So therefore this is the formation, this is the stage of formation of blastocyst, and in which we are able to see the inner cell mass attached to the embryonic pole, opposite pole is embryonic pole, and the outer layer, this is very interesting, the outer layer of cells, now the name given is trophoblast. Here I will write down trophoblast. Trophoblast cells are flat in nature and they will now function as functional epithelium. Please note down, this trophoblast cells will function as functional epithelium having tight junctions. And moreover, as they function as functional epithelium, they are flat in appearance, they are having tight junctions, they will allow some amount of tissue fluid, they will allow some amount of uterine fluid to percolate, to pass through these junctions inside, in this cavity, blastocyst. Now this blastocyst, the entire stage will be achieved, now please note down, it will be achieved approximately 4 to 5 days after fertilization. Please note down, it will be achieved 4 to 5 days after fertilization. Remember morula, which was achieved around 3, at the end of the 3rd day, morula stage was reached. After morula stage, this blastocyst stage will be achieved at the end of around 4th or 5th day after fertilization. So therefore, please note down, 4th or 5th day after fertilization, this morula stage will be, this blastocyst stage will be reached. At the end of 4th and 5th day after fertilization, stage of blastocyst will be reached. Now, few points you need to add. Now at this stage, as the cells are keeping on dividing, when they keep on dividing, inner cell mass here will develop into the embryo proper. Trophoblast will play an important role in providing protection and nutrition to the inner cell mass, and also total number of cells at the end of the blastocyst stage, that means at the end of the 4th and 5th day after fertilization, will be 107. So total 107, I'll write down here, total 107 cells are found in the stage of blastocyst. Out of 107 cells in the stage of blastocyst, there will be around 8 cells present as inner cell mass, and the remaining cells will be distributed in the trophoblast. So therefore, only 8 cells are found in the inner cell mass, the remaining cells will be distributed in the trophoblast. Now the trophoblast is also divided according to the area, according to the region. This trophoblast, the area where the trophoblastic cells are there, that is embryonic pole. So the trophoblast cells which are lining the embryonic pole will be known as polar trophoblast. Please note down, these trophoblast cells are called polar trophoblast. The remaining cells, the remaining trophoblast cells plus abembryonic pole, those trophoblast cells which are present at abembryonic pole, and the remaining. So these remaining cells of trophoblast, except at the polar region, they will be known as, here I am going to write down, mural trophoblast. Please note down, M-U-R-A-L, mural or mural trophoblast. So polar trophoblast and the remaining mural trophoblast, total cells including inner cell mass and trophoblast are around 107 at the end of the stage of blastocyst stage. Now what will happen? This blastocyst has already reached the uterine lumen. So now there is time for implantation. So at the end of 5th day, there will be disappearance of zona pellucida. Remember, there is an outer covering. If I draw here, there is still an outer covering here. I am going to draw, and this outer covering, please note down, this outer covering which I am drawing is zona pellucida. And so this zona pellucida I am going to mark down. So this zona pellucida has to disappear at the end of 5th day. So total, here I am going to put across to show total disappearance of zona pellucida at the end of 5th day. So by 5th day the zona pellucida has to disappear. Then and then only there will be an important stage after blastocyst, that is implantation. So then and then only implantation can take place in the uterine endometrium. Implantation of what? Implantation of the blastocyst. So zona pellucida will function as a protective layer till the appropriate time is reached for the blastocyst to embed in the uterine endometrium. Perhaps that is why zona pellucida is present. So as the appropriate time will approach, as we near the appropriate time, what is the appropriate time? That is around 5th day after fertilization, the zona pellucida will disappear. So now blastocyst will be exposed, the outer trophoblast cell will be exposed. Exposed to what? Exposed to the uterine endometrium. And then it will slowly start encroaching the uterine endometrium. As it encroaches the uterine endometrium, that process is called implantation, or it is also known as implantation and embedding of the blastocyst within the uterine endometrium. So the next stage after blastocyst is implantation. So please come on this side. Here we will utilize this much board. Now I am going to write here implantation. And please note down, implantation will take place on 6th day after fertilization. So please note down this important point. On 6th day after fertilization, implantation will take place. In order to draw the implantation, very simple, here we draw the fundus. On one side we show the uterine tube. Other side also we will just draw the, and now we show this is the fundus. Here we complete this fallopian tube and the uterus. This is how we complete the diagram. This is the fundus. So therefore, now in order to understand the fundus, what we are going to do will be here, this we are going to name this as fundus. And this fundus we are going to show in a slightly thickened manner. So therefore, this fundus we are going to make it thick so that we should be able to understand the entire concept of embedding, that is implantation. We know that endometrium consists of stratum compactum, stratum functionale and stratum basal, the 3 layers. We have discussed this in menstrual cycle. So the endometrium, which consists of stratum basal, stratum functionale and stratum basal, that is stratum compactum, stratum functionale and stratum basal. Out of this, the blastocyst, as it will migrate, as the blastocyst is migrating from the fallopian tube to the uterine lumen, the outer layer of blastocyst, that is trophoblast, will differentiate into 2 layers. These 2 layers are very important. So these 2 layers which have been differentiated from the outer layer, that is trophoblast, the outer layer of blastocyst, that is trophoblast. Trophoblast differentiate into 2 layers. These 2 layers, out of that 1 layer will encroach here in the endometrium. And endometrium, since I have repeated 3 layers, so it will encroach the 2 layers and it will slowly percolate through these 2 layers, that is stratum compactum and stratum functionale. So as it will percolate through these 2 layers, as it will destroy these 2 layers, it will try and pass, see here, it will try and pass inside within the thickness of the wall of the uterus. This type of implantation is called interstitial implantation. So please note down, there are various types of implantation in various species. In humans, we are having interstitial implantation. And what is the meaning of interstitial implantation? Very simple. When the entire blastocyst will encroach within the wall of the uterus, and from all the sides, the blastocyst will be surrounded by uterine endometrium. That type of implantation is interstitial. That means if this is the blastocyst, it will be lying here within the wall. So it will be surrounded by the wall of the uterine endometrium on all the sides. This type of implantation is interstitial implantation. That means the blastocyst will not remain in the uterine lumen. No, it will not remain in uterine lumen. If it remains in uterine lumen, in some species it is called central implantation. But it is not central. It will slowly pass through this endometrial lining of the uterus and it will be embedded, totally embedded within this uterine mucosa, within this uterine wall, where it will be covered on all the sides by uterine endometrium. And this type of implantation is present in humans, which is known as interstitial implantation. Please note down. Now, we are going to draw this diagram, but before we draw the diagram, site of implantation, very important. What is the normal site of implantation in humans? It is the junction between fundus and posterior wall of the uterus. So the junction between this fundus and posterior wall of uterus is the normal site of implantation in humans. Please note down. Junction between the fundus and posterior wall of the uterus. So junction between fundus and posterior wall of the uterus is the normal site of implantation of blastocyst in humans. And now we draw the diagram. How this implantation will take place. Zona pellucida is disappeared. Remember, we have shown there zona pellucida is disappeared. Now here we are going to draw the blastocyst. So as the blastocyst is coming from the fallopian tube towards the uterine lumen, and we know that in the stage of morula, during the 12 to 16 cell stage which we have seen yesterday, it will enter the uterine lumen. Now blastocyst stage, zona pellucida has disappeared, and so after disappearance of zona pellucida, we are left with, so here I will rub this, we are left with the blastocyst, and I am going to show this is the blastocyst. Please draw it, and here we are going to show the cells of trophoblast. Please note down, these are the cells of the trophoblast, and here we are going to show the cells of inner cell mass, and slowly we are going to put here the nucleus also, inner cell mass, trophoblast. Now as I told you, the trophoblast will differentiate into two layers. Outermost syncytial trophoblast, it is functioning as a syncytium, and histology we know what is syncytium. When the cells unite, when they lose all their cell boundaries, it forms a multinucleated mass. It forms a multinucleated mass because the cell boundaries, the cell junctions between them have been lost. So therefore the outermost layer will function as, here I am going to show that outermost layer. So that outermost layer will function, here I am going to show this as syncytio trophoblast. So therefore I am going to put in some color. I am drawing this as syncytio trophoblast, outermost layer of the trophoblast. This will be syncytio trophoblast with certain amount of nuclei which we need to show. So it is a multinucleated mass. Syncytio trophoblast is multinucleated mass. Inner layer becomes flat, and this is what we show this as inner layer. So this inner layer will become flat, and this inner layer of cells will be known as cytotrophoblast. So therefore the inner layer is mononucleated cells, the same trophoblastic cells which will be flat in nature. But here first the differentiation here has taken place in polar end, at the polar end of the embryo, at the embryonic pole. At the embryonic pole, the polar trophoblast has differentiated into two layers, syncytio trophoblast and cytotrophoblast, coming up in the next segment. So therefore, here this is how the encroachment of the syncytio trophoblast will take place. So therefore here we are going to name these two layers. This layer will be known as syncytio trophoblast, and this layer will be known as cytotrophoblast. So syncytio trophoblast and cytotrophoblast. The cytotrophoblast will have the property where it will undergo mitosis and it will replace the syncytio trophoblastic cells. So therefore, as a result of this property, now the entire blastocyst will encroach the endometrium and it will finally be lying within the decidua. So within the decidua, now the uterine endometrium is called decidua. It will be completely surrounded by the uterine endometrium and interstitial implantation will take place. Now we come to the clinical embryology of this implantation. What are the abnormal sites of implantation? The abnormal sites of implantation. The abnormal sites of implantation, where we refer to this as clinical embryology of the implantation. That is the extrauterine site. And what are they? Number one, ovarian. Supposing if there is pregnancy which will start within the ovary, it is called ovarian pregnancy. So the ovarian implantation, so it will develop into ovarian pregnancy. Second will be tubal pregnancy. If the implantation has taken place in the fallopian tube and the pregnancy will commence within the fallopian tube, it is called tubal pregnancy. This is very, very harmful. I mean, this will cause risk to the fetus as well as the mother. So for both mother and fetus, this is very much the tubal pregnancy is a risky pregnancy. It is one of the most riskiest pregnancies, that is tubal pregnancy. And then there will be, besides this ovarian pregnancy or tubal pregnancy, there will be another site which is known as abdominal pregnancy. So in abdominal pregnancy, the entire blastocyst, the entire pregnancy will be shifted to the abdomen, probably within the pouch of Douglas also. So within the peritoneal cavity, within the peritoneum, if there is commencement of the pregnancy, it will be known as abdominal pregnancy. So these three sites here, they are referred to as abnormal sites of implantation, and it is also known as all the three will be known as ectopic pregnancy. So if you are asked a question on ectopic pregnancy, what is ectopic pregnancy? Please mention they are the abnormal sites of implantation other than uterus. So other than uterus, there are the three sites: ovarian pregnancy, tubal pregnancy if it occurs in fallopian tube, and abdominal pregnancy if it occurs in the peritoneum. So therefore these three are called ectopic pregnancy. And now in the last, intrauterine abnormal implantation also can take place. I'll repeat this sentence: intrauterine abnormal implantation can take place. So here in intrauterine abnormal implantation, here if I draw here at this point, if I join, then this will become here, this will be converted into cervix, and here this will be the vagina. So if the implantation takes place at this area, if the implantation will take place at this area within the cervix, then this type of implantation in the cervix, it will be known as the placenta previa. So this abnormal implantation in the lower uterine segment in the region of cervix will be known as placenta previa. So therefore here we finish the clinical embryology, that is applied anatomy of implantation with ectopic pregnancy, the various sites, and also placenta previa. This is a placenta previa is an important case in obstetrics and gynecology, and it is nothing but intrauterine abnormal implantation in the lower uterine segment. With this here, we finish the first week of pregnancy changes. What are the changes occurring in the first week of pregnancy period? Right from fertilization till implantation, till the differentiation of the polar trophoblast into two layers, syncytial trophoblast and cytotrophoblast. So all these changes from fertilization till implantation will be in the first week of pregnancy period. Here we finish the first 7 days of pregnancy period. Thank you very much.